One day in the shower, I felt a lump. In that moment, I realized something was terribly wrong. I was diagnosed with stage 2B triple positive aggressive breast cancer. Honestly, the first thought was, I'm gonna die because I'm in my 20s. I don't know anyone young that has ever had cancer. The second thought was, we're gonna go bankrupt. I had a career as a teacher, and my husband and I were newlyweds. We're seriously thinking about starting a family, and our entire life changed in a matter of seconds. The very first day of appointments, they told me, you may never be able to have children. And that just absolutely broke me. The number one person in my life that was my support system was my husband, Mac. We met a new oncologist, someone that had compassion for our goals and was able to prioritize our desire to preserve my fertility, to prioritize me having surgery first to quickly remove the aggressive cancer and complete a full IVF cycle and egg harvesting before I started chemotherapy. It was in the middle of my cancer treatment that I started feeling this deep sense of despair, where I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to go to work. I just wanted to give up. I felt so horrible. I felt like it would never end and the symptoms would never go away. There was a really big turning point in the middle of my chemotherapy treatment where I was completely bald. I had one boob, and I absolutely had no recognition of the person in the mirror. That was the rock bottom for me to start to do some reflection. I need to figure out who I am. When I first started sharing my story, I started writing these blog posts about what I was going through, and I still will never forget the very first woman that reached out to me. She was a newly diagnosed mother of 2 young kids, and she said, I don't know how I found your post, but I'm so glad I did. Suddenly, I feel a little less alone. Women reach out to me and say, I want to give back to the cancer community. And my response is that advocacy can look different for every single person. For me, advocacy is sharing my cancer experience in order to improve the experience in healthcare, in people's lives. Cancer does not discriminate, can happen to any of us. I feel like I spent the first 27 years of my life just wanting to be a parent. And everything threatened to take that away from me. And so I was forced to find other aspects of my life that I could develop that brought me fulfillment.
I never thought I'd hear my name and cancer in the same sentence, but here I am.
My husband and I went through multiple pregnancy losses, and I knew how badly I wanted to be a mother, but it felt like it just was never gonna happen. But then I remembered that doctor saying that I might never have a family, and that brought a sense of renewed passion, and I am not gonna give up on this. And at the end of 2 very long years, I had a spontaneous pregnancy. The moment that they put Mason on my chest, I looked down and saw my double mastectomy scars. And the imagery of that was so powerful to realize that the same person that went through cancer was now here in the hospital, beginning a new chapter of my life as a mother. Sometimes he sees my scars and he asks me why it looks like that. And I have to tell him I was sick. And I never want them to be scared of cancer. I don't want them to live in fear that I'm gonna get sick again. I would never wish cancer upon anyone else, but I will always feel grateful for the opportunity it gave me to question what I wanted out of my life and how I saw my future. And that continues to inspire me to share that with others. Cancer wasn't the end of my story. I got to rewrite that No matter how many times it felt like cancer tried to take that option away from me,